street. I grew up in a house on a hill, not the top, not the bottom, but the middle. And I still remember where I cracked my head in the vacant lot. There's a row of tiny houses there now, and we used to light fires in the gutters, and I could cool my head on the concrete steps. But the girl down the street hit my sister on the head with a stick, and we hid behind my father as he knocked on her parents' door to tell them what she did. But the parents were drunk, so they really didn't give a shit. The girl down the street said a dog couldn't bark, cause a man with an axe cut its voice box out. But my older sister told me that it probably wasn't true, and I believe what she said, cause she took me by the hand one time when a couple men drove down the hill in a white van. Said there was a phone box filled with money round the corner, and I would've gone along, but she took me by the hand to the house in the middle of the hill, the middle of the hill, the middle of the hill. And our mother knew the words to a lot of different songs, and we'd always sing the harmonies when we'd sing along. She had cool, cool hands when the fever hit, then the noises that the trains made sounded like people in my head, and the stories that the ceiling told through the pictures in the grains on the pine wood boards. And I could stay outside till the sky went red, and I could cool my head on the concrete steps, and you can never really see the top from the bottom, but I'm paying enough attention to the good things when I got them. You can never really see the top from the bottom, but I'm paying enough attention to the good things when I got them. But I'm paying enough attention to the good things when I got them. But I'm paying enough attention to the good things when I got them. But I'm paying enough attention to the good things when I got them. But I'm paying enough attention to the good things when I got them now.
Hello everyone, and welcome to this beautifully calm ceremony space where we come together to remember and celebrate the life of your beloved partner, daughter, sister, sister-in-law, aunt, cousin, and dear friend, Ashlee Rose Grimson. My name's Yvonne Wood, and it is my absolute honour and privilege to be presenting this service today in conjunction with the wonderful staff here from Lapine Funerals and the Federation Chapel on behalf of Ashlee's heartbroken family. They are very deeply appreciative of your presence here this afternoon, because it is by having family and friends around at a time like this, it does make them just that little bit easier to bear. They would especially like to thank those of you who've travelled long distances or gone to quite a bit of trouble in order to make it. However, as often happens on occasions like this, there are some important people not here for one reason or another, but who are hopefully joining us via the wonders of modern technology on live stream. So a special welcome to all of you as well. I know that you would have Ashlee and us in your hearts today. I'd particularly like to welcome her online friends from over in the US, hopefully, who are able to tune in, as well as other friends and family interstate and overseas. I hope you do feel like you're part of the farewell here today. It is hard when you're not actually present, but I think we're very lucky to have live stream as a second best option. Just before we get underway though, can I ask, if you haven't already, can you please double check that your mobile phones or smartwatches, etc. are turned off, or that they're at least on silent. It's really easy to forget on days like this. Also, a reminder, if you didn't get a chance to record your name in the memorial book that was in the foyer there, can you please do that before you leave, because it becomes a lovely memento of the day for the family, as well as just being a gentle reminder of who was here supporting them on this most difficult of days. And just finally, everyone's very warmly invited to join the family for some light refreshments next door in the Candlebark room after the service. And this is an invitation I strongly encourage you to take up if you can, because once again, it's just in the sharing of memories and stories in a much more relaxed and an informal setting that definitely helps the healing process, in particular for the family. So, as you are all patently aware, a truly beautiful person has been tragically lost to us. Ashlee's passing has brought incredibly deep sadness to her family and friends, particularly because she was so young and the ties of family, love and friendship were so strong. But you can see, obviously, from the gathering here today, as well as the many who undoubtedly are joining us online, Ashlee touched many, many lives and created many friendships, which will ensure that her memory will be carried with you as long as there's still one single one of you left to remember her and carry her in your hearts. So our service of celebration today is an important part of the grieving process. As we spend time together surrounded by the people who loved Ashlee, we not only celebrate her life, but also by necessity, we mourn her death. And we'll do this by paying tribute to her life, by reflecting on our memories, and then by saying a final adieu, all the while giving comfort and support to one another. So, it's not surprising when we're acknowledging a life that's been cut so unfairly short that one can feel a wide range of emotions: anger, pain, hurt, sorrow, and naturally grief. As grief, as you know, is a great indicator and measure of love, and it simply cannot and does not exist except where there has been great love, as deep grief does not exist without deep love. So whilst on the one hand we say that this ceremony is a celebration of Ashlee's life, there's no getting away from the fact that you are all inexorably and profoundly sad. However, from what I've already learned about Ashlee, I'm fairly certain that the last thing she'd want is for any of you to be sitting here grieving in hurt or in pain. I think she'd much rather you focus on the joys of her life rather than the sadness of her death. She'd want you to remember with love and happiness the wonderful, wonderful life that she had in her 33 years that she was with us. She lived it to the full, with friends, with family, with love and with laughter. But how do we now try and encapsulate a whole life, even one that has been cut so unfairly short, in under an hour? I've got to tell you, it's an impossible task. But that is what we're charged with doing, the end of a person's life, just as a way of paying homage to their legacy and simply acknowledging their well-lived life. So today, Ashlee's story is going to be presented in 3 parts. The first will be presented by me, and I'm going to speak in Keith and Sue's words. The second will be presented by her very best friend, Millie, who will speak on behalf of Marty and his reflections. And then the third part will be Millie's own reflections of their life together. But for now, we're best to begin, but at the very beginning. So this is Ashlee's story. Ashlee Rose Grimson was born in the Box Hill Hospital on the 16th of July 1992 to parents Keith and Sue Grimson. Ash was the youngest of their 4 children, with the others being Karina, Jeremy and Nick. Ashlee was an absolutely beautiful baby who brought so much joy to all. As she grew, she became a funny little thing with an amazing imagination. From about 4 years of age, wonderful stories would flow from her mind, captivating her sister Karina and brothers Jeremy and Nick. And whenever she could, Karina would sit down with her and try and write those stories down. A passionate reader from an early age, Ashlee always had a book on the go. Her favourite was the Harry Potter series, which of course grew alongside her from the age of 9 through to 16. School life at Badger Creek Primary brought her enormous happiness, along with a wide circle of friends and endless plans for sleepovers and movie nights. Eager to try new things, she threw herself into calisthenics, gymnastics, capoeira, dancing, netball and basketball. As many of you would know, creativity was another of Ashlee's many gifts. The family home remains to this day filled with her paintings, mosaics, pottery and macrame creations. Macrame, a craft she taught herself through YouTube whilst we were all locked up during COVID. Following her years at Badger Creek Primary, Ash attended Healesville High School, graduating in 2010. But at 16, she told Sue and Keith that she wanted to do something adventurous. So she applied for and was accepted into the Young Endeavour crew. Now, during a 2-week voyage from Devonport to Williamstown, she transformed from a shy, nervous teenager into someone confident enough to sail into port, perched on the very top beam of the boat. When she was 17, Marty came into her life. Although he was a few years older and her parents were initially a little concerned, he proved to be the absolute love of her life and she of his. Together they shared a rock-solid partnership for 16 years. So after Ash finished high school, she had a gap year to save up to take a trip to Nepal. So while working at the Beechworth Bakery and taking on any other hospitality work she could find, Ash set her sights on that goal. So in 2012, she and a school friend, Beck, were able to travel to Nepal, where they volunteered for 2 weeks at an orphanage. Returning home, she enrolled at Deakin University and completed a degree in health sciences, followed by a diploma in remedial child play therapy. Throughout her university years, hospitality remained a constant alongside her studies. But when COVID interfered with further study plans, she became the before and after school care coordinator at Yarra Glen Primary School. But always at the heart of Ashlee's life were the people she loved most. Marty and their fur baby Frankie, Keith and Sue, of course, Jeremy, Karina and Nick, and as an auntie to Josh, Noah and Zave, Hazel, Finn and Sophie. She was both deeply loved and deeply loving. For all of them, she was the person they knew they could talk to about anything and everything. Big family gatherings were among her greatest joys, sharing huge lunches followed by board games such as Pictionary and trivia competitions. Anyone who played with Ash quickly learned just how fiercely competitive she could be. Dad jokes were another of her favourite things. Nothing delighted her more than being able to share a new one with Keith, who always seemed to be ready to come back with another in return. Her friends knew her as loyal, supportive and endlessly generous with her time. Being chosen as matron of honour at the wedding of her best friends, Millie and Jack, last year was an honour she treasured deeply. Ashlee Grimson was a wonderful daughter, partner, sister, auntie and friend. Everyone who knew her was touched by her warmth, her kindness and her love. No one could quite believe that she is gone. She will be missed by her loved ones every day of their lives for the rest of their lives. Now, there ends Keith and Sue's tribute. I'd now like to ask Millie and Jack to please join me to continue Ash's life story in Marty's words.
Hi everyone, my name is Millie and I have the great privilege today to read Marty's reflections of our beautiful Ashlee and the story of their relationship. My Story for Ashlee by Marty, or as some of you may know me, Brick. I first met Ashlee in 2009 when she reached out to me on Facebook. Pretty sure she reached out to see if I liked a band she was into. It turned out we both had very similar music tastes and quickly started bonding over our favourite artists. We kept talking online for a while before meeting up at a local park to hang out. I was always so nervous and awkward. I made fart noises with my eye socket and hand to break the ice, and it made her laugh every time. She later said that's how she knew I was a winner. We started officially dating after her mum, Sue, found out she wasn't at her friend's as she'd told her, but rather meeting up with an unidentified young man at a local park. I remember the day so clearly. She came flying down the road in her little blue car, screaming blue murder for Ashlee to get in the car this instant. I thought my days spent laughing and getting to know my new best friend were ending then and there. Thankfully, they had a chat, and I was given a second chance if they met me first. I remember being so nervous and scared that first time Ash told me to come over and meet them. My stomach was in my throat. I wore my best cologne and brushed my teeth before walking up and knocking on the door, only to be unknowingly welcomed lovingly into what would become my second family. If there's one thing Grimsons are great at, it's bringing people together. Whether it was Christmas with the water slides that kept the yard filled with laughter for hours, or Easter where for some reason everyone got new pyjamas, I never dared ask why. A random bonfire night, or one of our many outings. As many people that could would come, just to enjoy each other's company. A beautiful trait that Ashlee took with her to every engagement. We got Ashlee a car named Sid that she loved, even though it leaked water and put her through multiple accidents over its life. The car gave her that first taste of adult freedom and the ability to pursue a life beyond school. She, ironically now, worked and was trained as an officer administrator for a company that makes technology for American cemeteries. We would catch up when we could between our working lives and always make the most of it. Movie nights, stargazing, random drives, and late night hangs with the gang on the hill. The real ones will know. Ashlee and I agreed very early on in our relationship that we weren't going to have children. A feeling we both felt strongly about throughout our years. However, one of her biggest loves in life, beyond pho, sushi, her online community, family, sun bears, etc., was children. She dedicated a lot of time and effort into becoming a registered teacher of child play therapy at university. She made many new friends here, as she did everywhere she took that beautiful smile, but also had the opportunity to travel to Nepal with her friend Beck to help in aiding children in orphanages. She truly loved this experience, getting to work hands-on and meet these incredible people building lives out of nothing, meeting the elephants and experiencing the culture. I feel she found the trip very humbling and eye-opening to how amazing it would be to travel the world together, a goal we were still planning for. We took many holidays and road trips, often driving 4 hours after a 12-hour Friday shift at work to get to the accommodation so we could get the whole weekend out of it. Ashlee's favourite trips have always been to the ocean. We would literally run out of time if I named all the beaches we've visited together. But some of my favourite memories are getting locked out on the balcony at the Dramana Hotel, cheers for the free bottle of wine, the East Coast road trip to Sydney Big Day Out with Nina and Adam, and all the trips to Eagle's Nest and Lakes Entrance. I wish I could remember more, but she did like to tell me about her fondest memories during our Saturday movie nights. She often reminisced about the first time we met, the first time she was home alone with Frank, about going on the Superman roller coaster with her dad, which always made her put on her proudest smile, and the day we first took our dog Frankie to meet the ocean. This was a moment she felt most at peace with the world, I feel. You can see in the slideshow how happy our little man made her. Frankie is missing his mama. The tough little guy stayed by her side throughout their entire time together, always there for a cuddle or to lick her tears, always looking back on our walks to make sure she was still there. He would always stand right beside her after getting out of the pool to make sure she got drenched too when he shook himself dry. Ashlee always had a soft spot for animals, never without a pet in her life, and always politely asking strangers if she could please pat their dog. Her favourite animal was always the sun bear, which during a trip we took with my mum to the Sunshine Coast last July, she was able to see with her own eyes. She absolutely adored the baby gibbon. I couldn't get her away from that cutie. Throughout the last few years, Ashlee has also been blessed with many new online and real-life friendships through her eternal love of gaming, which she once told me started when she found out she could beat her family on the Nintendo by simply mashing all the buttons. Her passion for it led her into the arms of some beautiful online communities that she adored being part of. Some of the most understanding and kindest people that were always there to lend an ear, share their pet photos, or simply have a chat about what we all got for lunch that day. She had plans to become an indie game streamer with Frankie by her side, not just to better her own confidence and share the game experience with friends, but to give back to the community that was so giving to her. This might be hard for some people to hear, but I do need to mention Ashlee's battle. This is a cruel disease and has taken her from us decades before her time. I just want you to know how bloody hard she fought to beat it. 4 long years of chemo and radiation appointments, hundreds if not thousands of car trips, multiple surgeries, the endless medication and physical changes she endured. But she always kept a smile on her face and showed us what true courage looks like. I truly believed she would beat this a second time, just by how positive and determined to fight this she was. She was a beacon of love, of hope, and everything this world needs to be. She was so incredibly proud of herself for how hard she had fought. And as much as it hurts, I know she did everything she could to beat this. There are so many amazing stories and anecdotes, so many aspects to Ashlee's life that I could write multiple books worth of material to be read out today, and I still wouldn't be able to cover how much each and every one of you meant to Ashlee. I'll forever cherish all our memories, the moments and laughs we shared, the battles we fought through and beat along the way, your beautiful green eyes, and all the unconditional love, support, and guidance you showed me throughout our 16-year journey together. I don't believe you're gone. You're forever here with me in my heart and soul until we can meet again. I love your guts, Ashlee. I'll now be reading my reflections. Ashlee and I have been best friends since we bonded on Tasmania camp in Year 10, 2008, 18 years ago. We grew up together watched each other go through some wonderful things and some not so wonderful things. Our friendship was strong and steady and unconditionally important to us both. I sat down and wrote a list of all the things about Ashlee that I loved and that I will miss about her every day of my life. And though it would be impossible to share all of them with you now, I have chosen to read some to you. Sending her selfies of my outfit before I went out for her very important opinion and approval. How we would then continue to send each other photos and text and talk about how we wished we were together when I was supposed to be on said outings. Taking selfies together every time we caught up. Encouraging each other to finish the uni course, finish the day, do the hard thing, do the stuff on the list. We were always cheerleading each other on from the sides. How we would text each other whenever we got an especially spicy jalapeno. When we were watching TV and she would lean over to me, kiss me on the cheek and tell me she loved me. Her laugh when it was loud and unexpected. How some days we would message all day and all night. Our incredible unmatched telepathy. How when life was hard or we just had a bad day, we would talk about running away together when we were old. We said we would run from the world and sit on rocking chairs every night until dawn. This particular conversation of ours has been going on for at least 10 years. However, we had an issue with irreconcilable differences regarding the perfect climate. We were still workshopping the exact location that was somehow both Antarctic for her and tropical for me. Her handwriting, long, tall, and slanted. My heart skipped a beat every time I saw it. How we could say exactly what we thought to each other, always without censorship. Her eyebrows, which I always congratulated her on never plucking. Her cheekbones, her green eyes. How she would warn me of stupid stuff I would do in her dreams, like getting electrocuted, and then telling me first thing in the morning to be careful. Before she started chemo the first time, she wanted to shave her head, so we did it together one night. I was in awe about how okay with it she was, how extremely brave she was. Granted, Sue had to fix our attempts the next day, but it is one of my most treasured memories. She loved having short hair and always told me how freeing it was for her. How I would save her from spiders and moths, two of her big no-nos, by removing them from her vicinity, and then she would laugh and call me her hero. If we weren't vibing with the place we were at, it would just take a look and we would leave together. How sometimes she would come out with the most random, out-of-pocket, funniest thing I had heard in years. And finally, just her, all of her. Watching my beautiful best friend go through what she did, and us all being here today, has been the greatest devastation of my life. And I will never be the same. But I think of her bravery and her courage and her determined nature that coloured her and all her actions. And I will take that with me through the rest of my days. And as I walk, live, and drive around this beautiful part of the world that we shared, whenever I look at these mountains, see these trees, walk these streets, look up at this corner of the sky that we both looked up at, and especially whenever I see the sky begin to turn pink and then purple, I will think of her every time, and I will smile, and I will love her.
Wow, thank you, Millie. You did an amazing job. I have to tell you, getting up and speaking at the funeral of someone you've loved is the most difficult thing you'll ever do in your life. Honestly, I've seen professional public speakers absolutely crumble under the weight of their grief. Ashlee would have been so very, very proud of you, darling. And thank you also to Keith and Sue for your lovely memories, and also to Marty. Just really special memories that can never ever be taken away from you, not even by death. So now we've heard a lot of words said about Ashlee today, but we are now going to pause for a few minutes and watch a slideshow of a life that's been lovingly put together by the family, as we listen to some more awesome music that's been chosen especially for today. As we do, just let your hearts and minds take you wherever they need to be as you turn the pages of your minds and recall some of your own personal memories of this beautiful, beautiful girl.
Soul meets body, and cold nights for a lifetime. Hey now, you can't keep singing endlessly, my darling. How long until this affects me? Say hello to good times. Trade up for the fast ride. We close our eyes while the nickel and dime take the streets I always could count on futures. Things would look up, they look up. Why so hard to find a balance between living decent and the cold and real? Hey now, what is it you think you see, my darling? Now's the time to disagree. Say hello to good times. Trade up for the fast ride. We close our eyes while the nickel and dime take the streets The past is told by those who win, my darling. What matters is what hasn't been. Hey now, we're wide awake and we're thinking, my darling. Believe your voice can mean something. Say hello to good times. Trade up for the fast ride. We close our eyes while the nickel and dime take the streets completely. We close our eyes while the nickel and dime take the streets
Some amazing memories in there that I hope did put a smile on some of your faces and just bring a little joy to your hearts. So, what was it about Ashlee that made her so deeply loved by so many people? Was it her determination, her quiet strength, or the countless beautiful qualities that gave you all so many funny, joyful, quirky, and deeply cherished memories? You know, the love in this room, which is palpable, tells us so much about Ashlee's life without even uttering a word. It clearly demonstrates the way in which she connected with people, the way she cared, and the way she made others feel seen, valued, and loved. Whether as a partner, a daughter, a sister, aunt, cousin, or friend, Ashlee gave people something precious to hold on to. There's no doubting that her passing has left an immense void in both your hearts and your lives. And today, that grief probably feels overwhelming. Yet it won't always feel as heavy as it does now. I know that's difficult for some of you to imagine right at this very moment, but in time the pain will soften. And the moments when it feels most overwhelming will become further and further apart. And how long that journey will take, it's impossible to say. There's no timeline for grief, and each of you will just have to find your own way forward without Ashlee's physical presence beside you. But it is my fervent hope that today has provided some comfort and support as you continue along that path of healing. It's so unfair. Keith and Sue, you should not be burying your daughter. Marty, you've been robbed of a lifetime of memories. Her siblings, you're too young to be grieving the loss of a sister, as are your children. It's too hard to even contemplate what a huge loss is to everyone. And I, along with you, am feeling your pain. But for now, can I ask those who are seated and who feel able to please now stand? Just before we do finish, a gentle reminder that if anyone wishes to remember Ashlee in a more meaningful way, you may have seen at the entry 2 QR codes to her preferred charities. One is called Game On Cancer, which is spearheaded by Cure Cancer Australia, and also Henry Ford Health, which is basically the US equivalent of Game On. So please feel free to donate whatever small amount you feel capable of, and do it in Ashlee's honour. Dearest Ashlee, we set you free now. Lay down all that could stand between us as we leave each other. Do not carry anything you do not need on this next part of your journey. Go safely and be held in a hand which holds you gently. May your spirit find a new way of being wherever it goes, a new community of life, but which is still joined to us. We now entrust you to the universe, to the unknown paths beyond death, to the longed-for love which we hope is waiting for us all. Go in grace and peace, knowing you will always be part of our spirits, always carried tenderly within our hearts, in a saving memory of closeness and gifts shared. Leave us now, as you are reunited with the many precious loved ones who've gone before you. And may you now finally rest eternally, our beautiful, beautiful Ashlee, in deep and abiding peace.
So